Today, we're going to go over how to make a super useful toiletry kit. These are really cute kits. You can make them of different sizes, you can add straps to them. They feature a zipper and a lining. You can put pretty much anything you need in there, and you can make them out of cotton or even a waterproof material like this donut fabric that I used. To make them, you will need some type of straight edge like a ruler or a quilting square, a basic zipper, a seam gauge, a seam ripper, some scissors, and some marking pencils. For my fabric, I have chosen a printed lining fabric. It's just basic quilting cotton. And for my outer fabric, I have used linen, which is a little bit stiffer, and that will give it more structure. Now we'll go over what size we're gonna make. As you can see, I already have my rectangle drawn out, and the zipper itself is what's going to dictate the size of your bag. So since mine is 9 inches, 10 inches including the tails of the zipper tape itself, the shorter sides of the rectangle are 10 inches. The longer sides are 16 inches. The zipper itself can be longer than the short side of the rectangle, but you don't want it to be shorter because that will mean the opening of your bag will be much smaller. To begin assembly, we're basically going to be making a sandwich of fabric with a zipper in the middle, having your lining facing up, the zipper facing up on top of that, and then the shell fabric on top of that. We're going to go ahead and pin this. All 3 of these edges are going to be aligned. So try to simply keep the zipper in place, and I recommend pinning perpendicular to the line that you're going to be sewing. Be sure to backstitch at the beginning and ends of your stitches, and sew along the side of the zipper as close as you can get, but not too close to the zipper itself. When you reach the zipper head, which is the actual zipper mechanism, you're going to lift your presser foot, reach inside the fabric, and unzip the zipper. This will help you have more space and keep the zipper head out of the way. Once finished, open this up and you can see that the lining fabric is on the bottom side of the zipper and the shell fabric is on the top side. Next, we will repeat this process for the other ends of the fabric. For this side, you'll probably need to unzip the zipper about halfway in order to get started without having the zipper head in the way. So taking the other sides of each short edge of the rectangle, loop that back up to the zipper. So the yellow will stay on the yellow side of the zipper. The lining fish fabric I used will stay on the lining side. And so, once you reach to where the zipper head itself is, again reach inside the fabric to close up the zipper, and then continue sewing. Now, check your work to ensure that both edges of the lining fabric are on the bottom side of the zipper and both edges of the shell material are attached to the top side of the zipper. If they are, go ahead and press. You can use an iron or finger press these to make it look more crisp. Next, we're going to top stitch this. This is just going to help make the zipper more structured and keep the fabric out of the way. And repeat for the other side. Next, turn the whole kit inside out. So we're going to have the lining facing outward. And try to get the zipper panel right in between the middle of these 2 sections. And you can measure this. Go ahead and pin down the zipper in the middle just to keep it centered. We will next be measuring out and marking our squares that we are going to be cutting out from each corner. I chose 1 inch, and that's going to make mine more of a short and wide kit. If you wanted something more square, you will want the lengthwise measurement to be longer, and that will make your kit taller. Now we will cut out each marked square from the corner. I will also be pinning down each of these side edges, and we're going to sew these down. Be sure not to sew over any pins as you go. Try to slowly pull them out as you work. Once you reach the end with the zipper head, try to unzip it about halfway. This will make it easier to open up later. Trim these edges if you have a lot of excess. Next, I'm also going to check my work, make sure it looks good. We're basically going to have a centered zipper pouch with holes on each corner. Next, we're going to top stitch the seam that we just did from the outside. This will help give it more structure and help make sure that that seam is going to lay down flat. We're almost there. Go ahead and turn it right side out again just to check your work and make sure you didn't accidentally sew anything that you didn't mean to. You should still have one opening on every corner of your bag. Next, we will be closing up the 4 corners of your pouch. Grab each corner, pinching them diagonally, kind of like the corners of a pillow, and pin them with the seam that you just made on the center of one side of it. And repeat this for the other 3 corners. Remember, trying to get the seam that you just made centered will help keep these symmetrical. Next, we will sew each corner, making sure to catch all of the 4 layers. We can turn this right side out to check that it looks good. Now we have a pouch. If you want to make straps for each end of the zipper pouch, go ahead and cut out of the same shell material or your lining material for a contrast 2 rectangles. I did mine 6 inches by 2 inches. Once these are cut out, you can fold them in half and in half again so that all of the raw edges, long ways, are enclosed. We're going to stitch these along the edges just to give them more structure, and then attach. To attach the straps, simply align each edge with the corner seam, and we're basically going to be sucking this into the seam and sewing it. So just holding it right up to the edge and pinning it in place for each side. When it's time to sew, simply go in from the seam allowance that you've already taken about another 3/8 to a 1/2 inch. This will make your bag just a little bit shorter, but you won't really notice, and you'll have some cool straps. Repeat this for each corner. And once you're finished, you can trim the edges of these corners just to get rid of the excess fabric. Once that is finished, your toiletry kit is ready to go. You can store makeup, drawing supplies, shower supplies, anything that you need to carry along with you.